Now, South Africa's creatives are the heartbeat of our national story, and today we get to discuss some matters regarding honouring these creatives. Now, the National Arts and Culture Awards 2025 nominees have just been announced, and this is with a view to recognising excellence across literature, heritage, design, and so much more. And we'll also touch on issues pertaining to the Minister's portfolio in the state of arts and sport in our country. And he's here to speak to us, Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Honourable Gayton McKenzie. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Sakina? And thanks for having me.
Well, I'm just so happy you're here because you're a very difficult man to get hold of.
Because I'm busy working all the time.
Yeah. Let's talk about that work. So the Arts and Culture Awards that's upcoming.
Right.
Talk to us about that and the significance of this particular award segment.
Well, you know, as you know, you've got different races in our country. You've got white, black, Indian, and colored. And all of those races, they have their own culture. But we are trying to forge and to sue a South African culture. And we can only do that through social cohesion. And when you speak to artists, they're always complaining, no, we don't have money, we don't have this, rightly so. But the young kid that is looking at them think, I'm not going to go into that industry. It's just problems there. Now, this awards is to recognize the shining stars and to tell part of the good story. It's not the whole story, but we are endeavoring to shine a light on the people that are making it in very difficult circumstances. Very difficult, because this industry is in a state of neglect, and that is what I'm seized with every day when you don't see me.
And then I would imagine, because of the 28 entities that you have to administer, we hear of so many problems. When you go to the portfolio committee for oversight, it's problems upon problems upon problems. You touched on social cohesion, for example, and I think it was in March when you were at the portfolio committee, the issue of volunteers who were being paid, the social cohesion advocates who were supposed to be volunteers, but somehow were paid. What happened to that story?
Well, you know what, they did a brilliant job, the social cohesion advocates. Like, listen, we must be honest about the state of our country in as far as arts and culture is concerned, and social cohesion. When, I'll make you an example which I just find sad and laughable at the same time. Let's take, if you have to change the town's name, then people will say, then mostly the white people will say, no, you can't change this. You must fix the streets. You can't use this money for... And then black people will say, we'll change this name. But we speak past each other. So what I'm trying to do, and I'm coming to the story of the social advocates, what I and the social advocates were trying to do is to tell people that, listen, if your child has been killed by Brigadier Dreyer, and you have to walk past Dreyer Avenue every day, it hurts you. It hurts black people to be walking in a street that of the people that oppress them, named after them. White people feel hurt that everything that they used to know is just being removed, and names that were their leaders. Now you have to find the balance between that. You have to come and say, listen, we're social advocates, and say, listen, this is necessary. We have to change names. But it shouldn't be a process of punishment. It should be a process of reconciliation. So once you look at it as punishment and a waste of money, you will never find each other. And look at Gravrinet now, Robert Sobukwe. I've got on my desk, I must just sign to rename it to Robert Sobukwe. But I went back and I wanted to know, have all the processes been followed in renaming this town? Were the people consulted of the town? And I'm going through that now. And once I'm satisfied with that, the law instructs me to do what's on my desk. The social cohesion advocates did a marvelous job. The problem was, when I went to go and look to say these people must get an increase, I didn't realize, but it was, we always disagreed that they will be paid. And that is where the anger from them stems. I can't continue if I find something wrong. I can't continue. It's like the issue of, I was with my cellmate in prison. He was a doctor. He was in jail because he impersonated a doctor. And he was trying to convince me that it's unfair that he's in jail. He saves many people's life. I'm like, Chief, you don't have papers. Do you understand? You only tell me about your successes. So the social cohesion advocates did a good job. But the foundation of the appointment was what was wrong.
And I specifically highlight that issue because I want to come to a matter of accountability. And this is something that has beset those 28 entities under your purview. So you said in March that you would be going back and those who were responsible for contravening the rules and regulations, for paying people who are not supposed to be paid, were going to be dealt with. Has that happened?
Yes, they've been, we charge, I mean, senior people were I don't mean to mention people's names, but senior people were charged. They were put on suspension.
You can mention them, they're public officials.
Yes, I'm just saying that. And then you still have, it's not only in the, it's in the whole 27 entities where I found stuff. Like in sport, boxing, we had to change the board. We are now busy with the South African Institute for Drugs, SABC. We have to change that. So I'm saying that I can understand people's haste to see immediate change. We want drug-free sport. But I understand that people want to see changes now. Like, for instance, let's take the National Arts and Culture Awards. Firstly, we are awarding the people that is really deserving. But artists don't have money in this country.
And that's the point. So how much is being spent on these awards when artists are struggling to access grants, for example?
Here's the issue. Grants, you can have grants all the time. I'm trying to move away from grants. For 30 years, artists has been struggling, more than 30 years, but I'm just talking about the 30 years of democracy. Artists has been singing the same song every month, we don't have money, we don't have money. And they're not lying. But I realize where the mistake lies. And I'm fixing that now. For 30 years, they were dependent on the state. They were waiting for grants. Under my leadership, I'm trying to change that. I want them to have more of an entrepreneurial outlook. I want you to take care of your business. I want you to, the state should be, you don't get the Beyonce saying Donald Trump has not given a grant. You don't get a Tyler or a Black Coffee waiting for a grant. Those are the successful ones. We have artists in this country. They've been getting grants wire for 30 years. What type of artist are you? Are you a grant artist? And we must be honest about it. So what I'm doing...
Who are those artists?
You've got people that still want to get money from the state. You see them, all famous artists that applies. I don't want to humiliate people, but they still apply. Some of them don't even make music anymore. But here's the issue. What have I done? I have said, let's break the sectors down. We broke all the sectors down. I then said, I'm taking this money and I'm going to give every sector, they must have a board to represent themselves, to represent the industry. Let's even just arts and crafting. Nobody speaks for the crafters. You have a guy of hip-hop trying to speak for crafting. He doesn't even know what crafting is for 30 years. Now what we've done, we have had 17 sectors. We broke them up. We're funding them. We get them the basics. First, you can't run anything without an office, without a website, without office support, without having a lawyer. Because if you are a rapper, you just want to rap. Now you must be a lawyer in South Africa. You must read your contracts. These record labels give you a contract this big. That time, all you want to do is to rap. You say, where must I sign? And then you sign a 360 deal, which is everything you're going to do. They were sharing. So what I'm saying is that, give me a chance. Again, you've had your chance for 30 years. These people, they complain about me. For 30 years, give me a chance. So I've closed the tap. Now they think, McKenzie is wrong. He's not the right one. Because you want to live off the state. We must be an enabler of new talent. We must, I mean, how can you still have people that's here for 30 years? What about John or Tabo that just entered the industry? That's what we are there for, to help them so that they don't ask us money after 10 years. Okay. So I'm saying to you, we have those sectors, we've met them, we've appointed them, we've given them lawyers, we've given them money. We are sitting so that they can represent and agitate for the different sectors. Jazz, dancing, performing arts, they have the representatives that will speak on their behalf.
So how much for the National Arts and Culture Awards 2025?
I think they paid, if I'm not mistaken, 18 million rand for the whole awards.
It's a lot of money.
No, but you at Sun City, you want us to put something up there in the squatter camp with masking tape.
No.
What I'm saying is that, I'll make you an example. With the previous award, the previous G20, I went through the list. I'm telling you a thing. What I saw at that list, this was the 3 days before the event, I managed to see, because people think a minister is involved in this type of stuff. No, I walk very far from this type of stuff.
Yeah. You see.
So
how
what
much
I did, I said, come here, bring me the list of the G20. What I saw there, I couldn't believe. I saw proteas, a protea flower, like a flower arrangement, 50,000. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? I launched an investigation. I canceled the company because I'm just mentioning one. It was just inflated. When I looked at the National Arts and Culture Awards, I didn't find the same, what I found at...
How many people will be attending these awards?
I don't know the amount that will be attending, but I do know that they are paying, it's at Sunset happening. I told him most of the guests, usually, we will not pay for the accommodation. So those are alleviating matters. Where I said, we will not pay for the accommodation of the not the artist, of the guest. Usually ministers, we will invite our guests and then we'll pay for them to be there. I stopped that in this thing. And there's an investigation. There's the investigation on the previous one. So if there's anything untoward here that we find, there will be an investigation.
So did it go out to tender?
It must have gone out to tender, otherwise it's corrupt.
Okay. So all I want is for you to give us an undertaking that there will be transparency in terms of how all of this was run, what was spent, so that we can also cast, a beady eye over what happened.
100%. I can tell you now, yesterday, the head of audit that investigated the previous function at the DSEC, yesterday I called her in, and she's watching now on TV. I said, I've asked you guys to investigate. Did you find something untoward that's not right? She's like, we found a lot. I said, can I have that report Thursday latest,
okay,
so I can take action? And she said,
please share with us.
I will share it.
Please share. Quick ones, quick fire. VAR.
Yes.
Is that going ahead?
It's going ahead 100%. You know, people sometimes must understand. I'll make you an example with SAFA. People will say to me, intervene, interfere, McKenzie, remove them. Once I do that,
you can't interfere. That's a FIFA matter.
Will remove.
Exactly.
We are not the first ones. VAR. We have put money aside for two things. For VAR and for the bandwidth. Because you can't have VAR without that. Our stadiums, you go to the football, can't talk to your children at home. So we are starting the process. So there's a three-pronged process. FIFA requires SAFA to do the VAR. SAFA has met the committee. They've chosen a chairperson for VAR. The money is there. That's my part. FIFA is clear. McKenzie, you cannot be the one handling this thing. So now they have a chairperson. This week they are sitting to opening the bids that we've received. Then they will announce a winner. Then I must pay the winner. And then they will then bring VAR.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. But I'll tell you what, how much did you put aside?
We put aside 90 million rand.
From 70, now we're at 90 million. They must raise the money themselves. Just a thought. But that's where we will have a different discussion.
I don't know about 70
matter.
million, I know about 90.
Yeah, we were told in the beginning it was going to be around 70, now we're at 90. So, and of course the rand-dollar exchange rate is moving all the time. But we'll leave that there for now. And that is all we have time for. They're dropping a break for us because there's another question I can squeeze in.
I know that question.
So, yes, please talk to me about your Deputy Minister, Kenny Kunene. And of course, you had suspended him. Have you appointed the attorneys already? What is the scope for the investigation?
All right. I think first and foremost, I believe Kenny is innocent. Let's start there.
So what are you investigating if you believe he's innocent?
No, but I'm not the authority on what is right and wrong. we have a duty as public officials. When we find ourselves in a compromising position, to be able to, we need to come out and we need to be scrutinized, no matter who you are. We expect that from the Democratic Alliance, we expect that from the ANC. Kenny was found in a house that he should never have been in the first place, with a person that he should never have been with. He gave an explanation. What we are doing at the moment, we removed Kenny Kunene, we asked him to resign as the MMC. He did that. We asked him to resign as a councillor. He did that. We removed him as the deputy president of the party. We further sanctioned him and banned him from any political activity. No one has ever taken such action so decisively in a matter of 2 days. That's what the Patriotic Alliance is about. That's who we are.
So attorneys?
The attorneys, we are speaking. They're going to announce. I can tell you we're done with that process. We only finalized it yesterday. We met first with, I mean, I can say that, but because of conflict of interest, they couldn't do it. But we met another attorney firm, very well known, one of the big five in the country.
Okay. Terms of reference.
The terms of reference is, Kenny Kunene said that he didn't know where this guy's house was. He told us that, one. Secondly, he also said that they sent him a location pin. He said he was with a journalist. He said also that there was the person that sent him location pin was also there. So our terms of reference is very simple. Does Kenny have a relationship with this guy? Do they phone each other? Right. If he didn't know where the house was, how did he get there? He said he sent him location pin. They will investigate that. And has Kenny and this guy been talking over the phone, this supposed killer, been talking over the phone? Was there a journalist with him? That's the terms of reference.
All right, we have to leave it there. Minister Gayton McKenzie talking to us about a range of issues, but of course mainly about the National Arts and Culture Awards, which will celebrate the creative excellence in our country.